Alright, so here today we got what we're looking for, and we have Vespa's official kit, so we can talk about the official kit here today. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Appreciate the support recently, it's mean a lot to me, so yeah, sub up and let's jump into it. So this is the actual trailer, we just got this. We'll first read the tweet because that's more important. New teammate, Honeybee Vespa, Tower of God, character introduction, Vespa, boosting speed. This cute honeybee's dream is to rule the human world. Okay, meet Vespa in the Tower of God New World. So pretty simple, little tweet over here. We'll first watch the video and then we'll go into the character breakdown, if you will, and see what the character kind of has. So this is Vespa over here, pretty cool character. Yellow scout character, keep that in mind, which is pretty cool. We have the auto attack over here. We'll read the passive in a second, don't worry. We have the weak point strike active skill over here, looking pretty cool. We have the active skill 2 here, looking again pretty nice here, and then the special skill. So that's all the things over here, and this is the ultimate animation, which again looks pretty nice. That honey that the character's holding actually has something to do with the kit, so we'll find that out in a second here, but pretty simple video here. We'll first loop this real quick, just so we have it, and then we'll go through everything. All right, so first things first, let's see what the first part of the kit is, and let's break this down as simply as we can. So Vespa basic skill, passive skill honeypot. Vespa's defense increases for each yellow element teammate other than herself. So there you go. Automatically, you know that the leak was very accurate, correct? Yes, for each yellow ally you put on the field, that's not herself. So 4 characters basically, 80% increase is what we kind of know. So we'll see how that turns out, but there's no percentages given just yet, which kind of sucks. I thought they usually give the percentage, but not right now. In addition, if Vespa receives constant damage debuff, removes it immediately and restores the HP. If Vespa's HP drops to a certain amount of HP, heals her HP, and provide constant damage debuff immunity to nearby allies. Wow. Okay, so heals her HP and provides constant damage debuff immunity to nearby allies. That is sick. This thing over here is sick. So, tank up here, basically, correct? We're getting this part over here, a heal over here for the character herself, and then we're getting CC immunity. I mean, it's not bad at all. Over here, we have weak point strike, active skill. Vespa targets the enemy's weak point to deal damage. Then little bees attack the target twice. The target's blood flow is interrupted, becoming paralyzed after every certain number of attacks from Vespa or her bees. So after a certain number of attacks, the target becomes paralyzed. So automatically having a paralyzed in the kit is pretty good. Remember, in this game, theoretically, we value stuns, knockbacks, and all that stuff. Skill interrupts, basically, right? Because that can really save you or kind of get you through a situation that you might be in due to the reason of whatever going on, correct? So that is a big thing. Having that in the kit is always a big thing. So I'll give that a W for the first part. But we'll have to see after how many attempts, because it clearly says, right? The target's blood flow is interrupted, becoming paralyzed after every certain number of attacks. So as soon as we find out the actual number they are portraying for us, that will break down that part. So more so, it's a good skill. We just have to wait and see, right? And then it also targets the weak point. So it's going to be pretty good damage. Next skill, active skill 2, Bee Swarm. Vespa's little bees cling to the enemy to deal constant damage. If the target is paralyzed, the attack always results in a critical hit. So basically, going off the first one, you'll paralyze, and while you're paralyzing, you're going to deal constant damage, and then if they're paralyzed at that moment of time, it's a critical hit. That can also be a very good thing here. We can kind of see what it's doing. It's kind of like bleed effect in a way, right? Constant damage is kind of like bleed, yeah? Because you see the bees, if you look at the video, the bees are constantly attacking at that point, right? So it's kind of like a bleed effect in a way. So clings to the enemies to deal constant damage. If the target is paralyzed, the attack always results in a critical hit. That could be big. And then it also depends on how much the kind of paralyzed lasts for. That can also be big damage. If it's like constantly critting, like if the paralyzed lasts for like 3 seconds and this gets off 2 times, that's 2 crits, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So beyond that, that's pretty cool there. We have the special skill. Vespa locks the enemy, then uses Deadly Sting to deal damage and poison the enemy. The poison target takes constant damage and receives an additional debuff based on the poison duration. the poison effect and additional debuff cannot be removed, and Vespa becomes immune to status effects while using the skill. Wow, okay, so that's not bad. So first, it's basically, as the hashtag says, it's an unremovable debuff, and then also you're immune to everything while the skill is being procced. So that's also there, correct? If you're running yellow team, simply put, if you're running yellow team, this character has so much potential for it. It's a tank with decent bleed damage, great immunity for the team, great immunity for itself, obviously, and then also the fact that it can heal, right? A tank that can heal itself. So, genuinely speaking, there's a lot of potential here. With hats and with Yun and all that stuff, this character can be a perfect slot in for yellow team. And yeah, then we just have the ultimate here. So no other kit breakdown we can kind of go through, but for the most part, we also don't know like multipliers and certain number of things, right? Because it's gonna come down to like when this procs, the exact percentage. If it is 20%, as we kind of know, that's pretty good. This part over here, how many attacks? Is it 20? I think attacks. Which, how long does it take to proc 20 freaking attacks? So we'll have to see how much the paralyze actually kicks off for it. And then when it comes to constant damage, how long does that trickle, right? Is it depending on what target is kind of picked, and how does that operate? It's going off after weak point, so it could be pretty solid damage. Constant crits is really good. So all of these aspects have to be seen. But for the aspect of healing and then tanking, those two things we kind of know at the bare bones status, that's going to be pretty good. Now on the status of if the character can, you know, activate these things very fast, that is where it kicks into, we have to test, right? So simply put, on paper, this character has a lot of potential. On the aspect of yellow team, it could be a perfect slot in, right? Because you don't, at this moment in time, you don't really have the perfect yellow team yet, in a way. Wang is good as the 5th slot. He is a good character, but he is a good character. I don't know why I said he is a good character, but yeah, he is a good character. But like, probably going for a tank, because you have Evan, right? You have, what is it? You have Hats, you have Yun, and you have Bam, right? So you have a support character, a heal character, tank / DPS character, and a purely DPS character. Add in another tank and be able to help like that, you're setting yourself up for a very solid team, correct? And then if we're not looking at the aspect of using this character on yellow team, you lose the percentage of tanking, you lose that, right? But the character on its own can still be powerful. Like, it may not just be a yellow restriction. Like, if you're just using Yun, Evan, and that's it, like, you're still protecting with a 40% boost, if that is the case. We know 20%. It's still 40%. You know, you're losing part of it, but it's not like you have to run the team, right? You run Data Mass, you run this, you run Evan, you run Yun. There's so many things you could do. So for anything, this character has a lot of potential. Similarly put, we have to test also, because Yun, we were like, that's good on paper. And then we saw in game, we're like, that's broken in game, right? So clearly saw that there was a much different sort of consensus that we came to, right? So for what I got here, pretty much it. That's the Vespa breakdown. Again, yellow scout character, another yellow character. Yes, I know. Soon we're gonna probably kick into what, blue? I'm guessing they have to buff blue now, and then green, and then purple, and then make a rotation back to red. Is that what they're gonna do? We'll find out soon. But for this, very good character. We'll have to test before you summon. Just let us test. Let us see how this goes, and then I'll let you know when the character releases how good it is. So with that, subscribe up, helps out a ton, and I'll catch you in a future video. So yeah.